Hi everybody, Bunny Berry here. Welcome back to my kitchen. Today we are going to be making coconut kefir. Today I'm going to make 2 quarts of coconut kefir. So I have coconuts. I'm not exactly sure how many I'm going to need, so I've got a few more in the kitchen, in the refrigerator as backup. But you're going to need coconuts, young Thai coconuts. You're also going to need canning jars. In this case, I have 2 pint-sized jars and 1 quart jar, 2 quarts. And I am going to try a little experiment. I am going to make one with Donna Gates kefir starter from the Body-Ecology, which comes in this silver package. And then I'm going to make a quart with Yogourmet, which I can find locally, and this is what it looks like. The reason that I'm doing this experiment is that the Yogourmet kefir starter costs in my health food store $7.59 a box, whereas the kefir starter from Donna Gates costs about $25 a box. The Yogourmet has 6 packets inside, and so does Body-Ecology. So, I'm really doing it for people out there who, like myself, may not be able to afford to buy a $25 box of kefir starter. And this product may be completely superior. I don't know. But I want to try making it with both so that we can kind of compare the differences and, really see how it turns out using both brands. So that's why I'm doing it. When I compare the ingredient list on the back of each box, the Yogourmet brand says that it has lactic bacteria, which is lactobacillus, and yeast, and skim milk powder. The Body-Ecology product says that it has lactobacillus culture, lactobacillus, yeast, and glucose. Okay, you might be asking the same question that I asked when I first read the ingredient box on my kefir starter. You may be asking, why would either of these kefir starters include yeast and skim milk or yeast and glucose? Well, let me settle one of your fears. If you're suffering from candida, as I am, the yeast does not feed on yeast. So it's not cannibalistic. It doesn't feed on itself. It feeds on glucose, or it feeds on sugar. So in the Body-Ecology product, they add a little bit of glucose and a little bit of yeast to give the lactobacillus culture something to start working on, right? Well, hi there. Welcome back to Cutting Board Cam. First thing I have to do, of course, in order to make coconut kefir is to get the coconut water out of the coconut and into my fermenting vessel. So, this is the way that I open young coconuts. A little different from how I used to do it. Now what I do is I actually I'm going to expose the little brown top by shearing off the white part of the coconut using kind of a rounded cut with my knife, right? Because we all know that the coconut inside, the brown coconut, is actually round. So I want to expose that nice little brown round top by just cutting around with my knife. So I'll keep doing that. You guys don't have to watch me when I get the brown top exposed. I'll show you. So here we go. I've got a nice little round lid. This is on the brown coconut. This would be the top part of the coconut. A nice little round lid. And what I'm going to do is use the heel of my knife, and I'm going to give it a good whack, which I can't give it a good whack because my camera is actually sitting on a shelf. That's how I do Cutting Board Cam. Now you know my trade secrets. So I am going to give it a good whack right here on the edge, and it should, if I give it a whack with much intention of opening and popping open the lid of this coconut take me right into the coconut meat. Now I am going to, while I'm doing that whack, my hand is not going to be in the picture. I'm going to whack with my hand away from the coconut, okay? I'm not going to hold it like this and then give it a whack because, you know, obviously that wouldn't be a good idea. So I am going to move away from cutting board cam and give this coconut a good whack. Okay, so here it is. I gave the coconut a whack. Actually, I gave it a couple of whacks before my lid wanted to pop off, and then I pried it off. And I try not to give it too many whacks because then you get little floaters of coconut shell in your water. But that's okay, you know, it will survive. Now, instead of putting this straight into the fermentation jar, we're actually going to put it into a pot. So I have a pot here, I have a pot handy, and I put a little strainer in there so that any coconut shell pieces will not get into my water. I'm just going to pour the water straight into the pot. Oh yes, isn't that exciting? Now this is the water of 2 coconuts. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it on the stove top just for a few minutes to warm it up. These have been in the refrigerator, and I want to warm it up to body temperature because the lactobacillus bacteria would rather live in a warm environment than a cold environment. So in order to make our kefir starter more effective, we're going to heat the coconut water up to body temperature. So let's do that now. Now once the water has warmed up to around body temperature, I am going to pour my kefir starter into my 1 quart jar, and then pour the coconut water right on top of it. Let's see if I can do this. Now I want to go ahead and fill it up, you know, fill it up just about that rim. Okay. And then I'm going to make sure to inoculate the entire quart by stirring the kefir starter, making sure that it's nice and blended. Okay. Actually, I'm going to pour a little bit more in there just to top it off. I want it to be nice and full. So actually, all 3 coconuts went into this 1 quart. I have just finished making the coconut kefir with the Yogourmet brand of kefir starter, and here's the one that's body-ecology. The one body-ecology is obviously much more translucent because there are no milk solids in it, but we'll see how they do. I'm going to put them all up here together. I have the date on it. Oh, too high for me to reach. I've got body-ecology and the date on it. I'll put these up here too. And in a couple of days, we will get to do a little comparison. So, I will see you then, and look out for my next video, which is going to be about fermenting coconut meat to make coconut pudding. Eat your veggies!